Hey guys, how you going? Welcome back to Pastizz Cook's channel. Mate, we're going really well. Thank you for all the support for the hops and the fira and the bigger. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Keep them coming. Let's get this #1 channel for some of these Maltese recipes. Look, I've had a lot of requests today, so today we're making Pastizzi, okay? Now look, I have to say I'm not the expert on this one, but I've had a few cracks at it, so I'll do my best to give you a good recipe today. Okay, what you're going to need, fairly simple, just plain white flour. Got a kilo of flour, okay. I like to get a bit of margarine. This is like a spread with margarine and butter mix. It's just a spreadable dairy blend of margarine, butter, whatever you want to call it. It's just a blend of the two, I believe. So you can use a mix of butter and margarine. You can add some lard to some butter, and the ratio is roughly 80 to 20, okay? So you want 80% more of the margarine or the lard and the 20% of the butter, okay? So I'm going to be using this spreadable margarine butter today. 650 ml of cold water, a tablespoon of oil, it's got vegetable oil, and a teaspoon of just regular table salt. Okay, look, I find with this recipe you're definitely going to have to use an electric mixer to mix it together. We're not going to be mixing it for too long. We just want to get it enough to form a firm dough ball, okay? It's not going to be wet, this one's going to be quite firm. I find with Pastizzi, the colder that your equipment is, the better. So the cold water, try and use cold bowls if you can. Have a cold bench. I just find that having everything cold is going to be quite helpful. Okay, we'll get started. So I've got a kilo of plain flour, okay? Just nothing special about that, just straight plain flour. And we're just mixing this all together. So that's a tablespoon of oil and a teaspoon of salt, okay? And I'll just start mixing that slowly, okay? Now the margarine butter, that's going to come in the next step. So we'll just give that a bit of a mix there. I'm on about speed number 2 on this, like keeping it quite slow. And what we'll do is we just start adding the water bit by bit, okay? So that's about half of it's gone in now. We'll just let it get mixed in, and what I might actually do is once this starts forming a dough, it does put a bit of pressure on this machine, so I might just take it out and I'll do it by hand, okay? So we'll see how we go today. I'll just add the rest of the water in. So 650 ml of cold water, okay? You're going to have to judge it. Again, like I'm saying, the flour varies from one plate to the other, one brand to the other. So we'll just have to sort of vary it to see how it comes along. So this is starting now to form a nice firm dough. Okay, we'll mix it for a little bit longer, not too much more. And I'll bring it onto the bench and show you. Okay guys, I'll get that out now. I'll show you what we're looking for in terms of the texture here. It's quite a firm, dry dough. I'll just put it onto the bench. Okay, so you can see there, that's what we're looking at. It's just like a nice lumpy kind of dough, and I'll just give this a bit of work now, just by hand, just for a couple of minutes, just to get this all incorporated and just try to take some of those lumps out. Alright guys, so the Pastizzi dough, right? What we're looking for here is we're looking for a nice, soft, almost like a phyllo pastry, puff pastry kind of dough. and getting that nice crunch flakes in the pastizzi, right? It's pretty hard to get. I'll tell you what, sometimes it's a bit hit and miss for me. Sometimes they come out perfect. Sometimes they come out tasting just fine, but I'm not getting those distinctive flakes of lines, okay? But either way, they taste amazing. Okay, look, so that's pretty soft now. Okay, so what I do here is I like just to flatten this out, just with my hands. And you're going to get a bit of a workout here, okay? We get a rolling pin. And basically, what we're going to do here is we're going to stretch this out as far as you can. Okay, we don't want to put too much pressure on just yet on this dough. But stretch it as far as you can. And it's just like doing a puff pastry. You're basically just going to fold it onto itself and repeat this about, I like to do it about 10 times actually. And what we're doing here is we're just getting this dough starting to form those lines that we're going to get in the pastizzi. Plus, like working the gluten, right? We're basically getting this to be quite stretchy. So that's as far as I'm going to take that first one, okay? Just stretch it out, and we just set it from one end, and we fold it over, okay? And then press it down. I like to fold it again, so I've got a little rectangle like that, okay? And then I go 90 degrees, okay? And press it down, and we're going to start rolling this out again. Okay, so that's one. Okay, so we're probably going to do that 10 times. Like I was saying, don't have to put extremely too much pressure on this. Okay, just take it in time, roll it as much as you can. But just take it slowly, okay? And it is a bit laborious, but if you want to get those flakes, right, you've got to take this step, unfortunately. So that's another one. Two. Alright, so we'll do this for 10 times, and we'll come to the next step. Alright guys, we're coming up to the last one now, okay, one more, so you can give it a bit of a whack, okay, let's try and soften this up a bit, and stretch this out one more time. Okay, I'm not going to take it much further on that one. So, just try and stretch it out a little bit more. It's time to get firm and more elastic. There you go. Okay, so that's probably as far as I'm going to take this one. So you can see that's probably about, that's only like about, I don't know, just over a foot long, right? And that's a good inch, probably a good inch thick there. So what we'll do now, we'll roll it up, okay? And we form it like a ball. Okay, get a nice dough ball. Now, this is very firm, okay? So what we want to do now, we're going to let this rest for probably about an hour, okay? And what you want to be able to do is when you press this, it stays down, okay? Well, what we'll do now, I'll show you what I mean. We'll get some of this margarine. And mine's not quite room temperature yet, it's not too bad. So I'm just getting a little bit on my hand, just like that, and we're just going to just wipe all that all over the dough. Okay, so that is just going to start help to make this dough really soft. Okay, and so just make sure you get it all the way around. And what I like to do, I've got a nice bag in the fridge here. Right, I'll just get the bag. I'll get the dough and I'll put it in there. So you can see at the moment this dough, let's see if I can get a good shot for you. Okay, if I press it, it comes back up. Okay, it doesn't stay all the way down. So a good way to indicate that this thing's rested properly is that that dough will be really soft. So I'll just put it in the bag like that. I'll put it in the fridge here below and I'll leave that for an hour and then that should be well rested. We'll bring it back, we'll do the press test and we'll roll it out and we'll do the next stage. We'll see you soon. Okay guys, we've come back now, so it's been about an hour. I'll just take this dough out of this bag. So put it on the bench. So what we're looking now is for a well-rested dough. Okay. So let's have a look at that. So that's it there. So if I put that there, and you see there, if I put my thumb in it, it's staying down. Okay. So that's what we want. We want that sort of dough to have that consistency, okay? So that's been about an hour, okay? So what I do now here, I just press it down and you hold it down and you want to stretch this dough out, okay? Stretch it out to about 1 metre to about 1.5 metres, okay? This is probably about 1.2 metres here. And what you want to do is then get your rolling pin, okay, and you want to probably just roll it out to about 1 centimetre thick, okay. So it's going to be about 1 metre wide, or somewhere between 1 metre and 1.5 metres, and roll it out to about 1 centimetre or so thick, okay. That's pretty much it. So we've got like a nice long rectangle. You can see the middle is probably a little bit too thick there. So I'll just roll it out. And you'll see here in this dough, they're going to start getting some little bubbles here, right? So that's from all the folding process that we did previously, right? Now I like just to lift it up and just give it a bit more of a stretch. Okay? There you go. Okay, this is when the fun part starts. Okay, so you get your margarine and butter and you get a good handful of that, right? So you're getting all the good nutrients out of the butter here. So don't worry too much how much butter you're putting on here. Don't worry about all those calories. But you really want to be smothering this on. If you don't put enough on, the pastizzi is just going to be way too dry, okay? So look, this is a ½ kilo. Right, I'm probably going to use at least 300 of this. 300 grams. And just smother that on, okay? You really want a good thick layer of this on here. And I've done these before and didn't use quite enough of this spread on top. And you know, they come out nice, but they're just a bit on the dry side of things, right? Not real how the Pastizzi usually are. So if you want the Pastizzi flavour, you've got to add a bit more, right? So out of that carton there, I've probably used about half of it, or just a bit over half. So I'd say about 300 to 250. Okay, I spread that evenly right on there. You can hopefully get a good look what that's looking like there. Okay. Now, I'll just wipe all the excess butter just onto it, and what I'll do is I'll just quickly wash my hands and I'll come back. Okay guys, so this is, I would say, the most critical part of the Pastizzi making part. So we're going to roll this. We're going to be doing this stretching motion and rolling it, okay? So this is about say, you know, 5 mil to 1 centimetre sort of thick across. Now we're going to be stretching and rolling it, right? So when you do that stretching and rolling, it's going to be creating those layers even more. You don't want to get this, I used to do this in the past where it's to stretch this out and it was paper thin. And you know, you do get some nice flaky, but I find that those flakes don't come out in the end product as well. Okay, so leave it a little bit thick here. So like I'm saying, it's somewhere between 5 to 1 centimetre thick, okay? And you're going to grab it from, let's just grab it from this end. You grab it from this end, lift it a bit up, okay, and you're stretching, okay, and you start rolling. Okay, and you want a little bit of tension on this. Okay, so stretching and rolling. Okay, stretching, and you try and go in this zigzag fashion. So that way, stretch, try not to tear it. Okay, and then we roll it. Stretch that way, and then roll it. So you want like the middle part to probably have more of the dough, and it comes out to a little taper. So just do it nice and slowly. Stretch and turn. Stretch. Stretch. That's it there. And then at the end, I just get the palm of my hand and I just squeeze it onto that table and spread it out. And there you go. Okay? And we end up with a nice big roll like that. Can you see that? Now this has to go in the fridge overnight, okay? So you just grab some Glad wrap. Put this out on the bench. Okay. And you get some more of this goodness of margarine and butter. And we just spread that on top, like that. Don't be shy. If you want the results, you've got to add the fat in, unfortunately. We all know Pastizzi aren't really that healthy. So give that a good layer all around. That's looking good. Okay, so just get this and put it on that Glad wrap, and we basically make sure it's completely sealed. Okay, now that goes into the fridge overnight, and then we come the next day and we'll stretch it out and do the next stage. Okay, so I've got one prepared that I made earlier, so I'll do a bit of a clean up here, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the next step. Okay guys, so here's one I made last night. Okay, so just look for the video, we'll have one prepped up. So this has been 24 hours or so in the fridge, so we'll just unravel it. Okay, so that's it right there. So what we do now is you basically just want to sort of stretch this out like a sausage, right? So it'll come out quite long. You just want to get it as even as you can. So probably about 5 centimeters in diameter. I've worked it out. I'm probably going to get like about, I think, somewhere close to 30 Pastizzi out of this, right? So that's it there. And just give it a nice stretch. Okay, and that's probably about close to 1.5 meters here, right? Now, got a baking dish ready, teaspoon. I'm making the ricotta ones here. Okay, I asked you guys which ones were the favourites. Everyone went for ricotta, so I'll just be showing you. Look, you can do whatever filling you like. Okay, this is basically 1 kilo of ricotta with 2 eggs, salt and pepper, and just mixed up. And you just want to make sure that your filling is not too runny. Okay, if it's too runny, the Pastizzi are all going to get wet and they're not going to be that great. So make it fairly sturdy. Okay, so it's just there's the mixture there. I didn't make the ricotta myself. Okay, I bought that one. So it just comes in that strainer tray. Now get a knife. Okay, and you want to cut these into rings of about 5 centimeters long. Okay, so there's a trick there. I think we use, you know, I sometimes do 2 fingers when I'm doing small ones for the kids. 3 fingers usually is round about the 5 centimeter mark. Okay, and you don't want them too small. If they're too small, they're just like really hard to shape, and you can't put much filling in. Okay, so I'll just cut this all the way through. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we've got 10 there. I'll try and move this just to make it a bit easier to show you guys. Okay, so you can see how long and skinny that is. Okay, now we'll cut this right up. So you can just see here. You can just see these little rings, okay? So they're the ones that are going to create the flake. Now, what I like to do is, I'll just get some oil. So I've just got some oil in a bowl, okay? Just a little bit of oil there. And all we're doing here is just getting your thumb and you dip it into there. Now, this is the action here, right? You get your thumb and you put it in there. And we're doing this kind of movement here. Okay, 2 hands. And you're doing this sort of stretching and pulling kind of action, okay? Try not to, if you can, squeeze too much, because you squeeze and we're going to lose those rings, okay? Now, once you've done that, you actually flip it inside out, okay? And you give it a bit of a stretch. Okay, and you cup it into your hand like that. Okay? Got the ricotta, I get a teaspoon. About a teaspoonful. Just there. Put it straight in. I'm trying to show it as much to the camera. And then you fold that one like that. Over. Okay, I'm going to try and get this right. And you fold this other part over like that, and that way they won't open up. So that's the kind of shape you got. You put it on the tray on a diagonal and just press those ends down, okay? And that is your Pastizzi there. Okay, so I'll do a couple more. And guys, so like I said, you can make these obviously with the peas. The peas, you're going to do a different shape for the peas, right? You close it the other way. So in goes with the thumb. Get the thumb right in, form like a little cup. Okay, that's what we're doing. And then we're going and you're pulling and it's stretching. pulling, stretching. Okay, you can see some of the rings here, and then you basically turn it inside out and stretch it a bit out. Okay, and again, get the ricotta, and it goes. About a teaspoon, okay? And again, make sure you're getting these fully closed, okay? There you go. And I like to put them on a tray and then we arrange them. Now you can freeze them overnight, you can leave them in the freezer for as long as you want. You can have a few set up and then you cook them in the oven. I cook these at about between 230 to 250, somewhere around for 20 minutes to 25, maybe half an hour. Really got to keep an eye on it, okay? So you were looking for that golden, sort of golden brown colour, bit of crunch to it. You don't obviously want to burn them from the bottom, so I'll just put these on baking paper. I find that helps a bit. I just try and put them in the middle tray in the oven, and that way they don't really burn that much from underneath. So inside out, turn it into a little cup, get a good scoop of ricotta, okay, and then again, so try and get that sort of overlapping of the pastry, okay, otherwise they'll open up and you'll lose all the goodness of that ricotta coming out. So that's it, guys. Obviously if you want to do the peas, you're just doing a simple shape, you're just folding it over more like that. But I'm sure you guys know how to do that much of it. So I'll do a few more of these, we'll cook them up and I'll show what they look like at the end. Please like and subscribe, thanks for your support, hope you're enjoying the videos. Join our Facebook page, we've got the Pastizz Cooks Channels page, we've got the Facebook channel group, so you can post all your attempts on the group, on the Pastizz Cooks Channel group, okay? And feel free to leave some comments on the Facebook page. Keep the tradition alive, share it to your family and friends, and enjoy some Pastizzi. Thanks, guys.